What is up, MMA fans? This is Tudolonte for Sherdog, and today I have the pleasure to talk once again with Mr. Adrian Yanez. Hello, Adrian. Welcome back on Sherdog. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. It's been a phenomenal year. A lot of ups and downs, but man, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed that my 2021 feels like it's ending on a high note.
We are recording a few hours after UFC 269. Have you watched it?
Man, no, I haven't because my son was actually born and
Ooh,
was like I wasn't.
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Like so, I really didn't get to see any fights. I only got to. I think I was catching glimpses here and there. I was able to see Tai Tuivasa fight, and then I was trying to catch Randy Costa. I watched a little bit of the Randy Costa fight versus Tony Kelley, and then it just cut off on me. So I went back doing to what I was doing, and then after that, the Tai Tuivasa fight, and then next fight that I was able to see was like the last sequence of Cody Garbrandt versus Kai Kara France, and then after that, like I saw the co-main event, I saw the main event, and you know those they like just seeing those fights, like I kind of knew what kind of a card UFC 269 was, because that was a really great card.
Well, let me see once. Well, let me say once again, congratulations. I mean, I believe you know, your child's birth is a little bit more important than everything else going on in the MMA war right now. Is it a boy or a girl?
Oh, I have a healthy son. I have a healthy son. So it's like it's amazing. Got a little junior here on Earth, you know. So it's pretty cool.
How is his name?
Adrian. He's gonna be a junior. He's a junior.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so loving it. Yeah, it was pretty cool being able to name him after me. Luckily the my other half was just like was okay with it.
Indeed, you had quite a year. You know, in addition to your victories, your son's birth. Wow, we'll discuss about that in a little bit. But listen, okay, you didn't watch the event. As I said, that's totally and completely fine. But I heard that Tony Kelley called you out after his victory over Randy Costa. What do you think about that?
And I think that's a great matchup too. He said he wants to hand me my first loss. That he'll hand me my first loss, and you know he can go ahead and try. You know he'll wake up to the doctors like telling him, "Hey, you messed up," but you know that's all fine and dandy. Because look, I'm here. We're fighters. Of course, we want to hand each other losses and everything. But he's gonna be on the wrong side of that. He's gonna wake up and the doctors are gonna be like, "You picked the wrong guy."
And what about Sean O'Malley?
Oh, Sean O'Malley, that would be a great fight as well. That would be an extra pay boost on my end. So of course, like that to me, though, they both have upsides to it, because one, you know, I get a great fight against Tony Kelley, a guy who I feel would be able to, how can I say it? Stylistically, it's a great fight for me because he's gonna come forward, and I love countering, and he's gonna wake up like he's gonna overcommit on a shot, and I counter him. I walk away with my hands up, and you know it's a great fight. With Sean O'Malley, I know is gonna be a bigger payday. It's gonna come up as soon as we get into the fight. I just know I'm already gonna get a pay bump and everything. So, and then on top of that, knocking Sean O'Malley out will only give me another bigger pay bump. So of course, yes, that Sean O'Malley fight would be great too.
Well, hopefully we, you know, as a fans, as a MMA fans, we'll see that those clashes one day. I'm totally down with them. Hopefully they will happen sooner or later. But listen, you recently defeated Davy Grant in November after outboxing your opponent on the feet. While your performance looked as dominant as it could be, one of the judges sided with Grant, you know, when it came to hear the verdict. Let me know your thoughts on that.
Oh man, he must have been texting. He must have been off in La La Land or whatever. Because man, kind of going back, I was trying to be super biased and like rewatching the fights, but I still don't see how all 3 rounds he gave it to Davy Grant. I don't see how he did that. I don't know. And the fact that he's a boxing judge as well, like that made me really question a lot of things. So yeah, no, I thought that was a terrible card, but the fact that I still got the win, it's good, but also it's still kind of a little asterisk on that win because it's a split decision. So it's like I don't like that at all. It doesn't sit well with me, and I, of course, like I wish there was something else that could happen. Be like, hey, like no, there's a penalty for that. That was a terrible card, a scorecard. So I think 100% like there should be like repercussions on that. So yeah, I don't like that scorecard at all.
Still, a win is a win, you know, as you said. Okay, it's a split decision. It's not, let's put it very beautiful, okay, to see it on your record, but still it is a win, and it's really controversial, at least as far, you know, in my opinion. I scored it in the first round and the third one in your favor, but the second one, I believe it's belonged to Grant. What happened there, you know, from your point of view inside the cage?
So on my end, that's I thought I knew for a fact I won the first round. The third round, I felt like I was just kind of outstriking him and everything. The second round, we did close it up. He did get a lot more aggressive. He did start doing things that he did start throwing a lot more. And the more that he threw, the more he was going to connect. And like he threw in combinations, was aiming for my chest and like aiming for anything he could land on. So yeah, it looked good at the time too. But even then, like I still feel like I won that round. But you know, being like just being able to pull myself away from it and just look, I can see how he got that second. I can see how like people give him that second round. And also too, like if you look at the strikes landed, I did outstrike him by a strike or two. I think I was like 36 and he was like 35 or 34 or something along those lines. But you know, he did have a variety of attacks on it. So to me, it wasn't atrocious to give him the second round. It wasn't like no like 100% like I won that second round. For sure was a toss up, but yeah, for sure 1 and 3 I believe I took as well.
Yeah, did he, you know, it was an interesting clash as far as styles goes, considering that you are quite an amazing boxer. He uses his kicks a lot. Did he do anything that you weren't expecting from him?
No, I felt like honestly the biggest thing from him that I probably didn't expect was how nice he was. And that was the biggest thing on my end, was exactly how nice he was, because I knew that he was going to come in to fight for 15 minutes, 25 if it was. But the fact that he was there and he just uh took all the shots, try to give them back, and just stay there and not fall down. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. He's a tough fighter. He's a really great fighter as well. So to me, I knew there was nothing that surprised me in that fight. It was just him being so nice that made me be like, oh, that surprised me. I didn't think he was going to be that nice in fight, but he's a super nice guy outside of fighting too as well. So that's the only thing that surprised me.
When we spoke before the fight, you told me that you kind of predicted a finish. It didn't happen. You just said that he surprised you a little bit. Were you actually, I don't know, pushing for a finish? Were you aiming for a finish?
So I wanted to get the finish, of course. Like I'm always looking for the finish. It's just at a certain point, like I remember in the first round, I hit him with 2 hard shots back to back. He threw the inside leg kick. I threw a hard left hook. It rocked him, and his back hit the fence. And then he tried to come back at me. He throws a wild hook, and I weaved underneath it and threw my own right hand, and I knew he was hurt. But I remember seeing his face and seeing that he wanted to throw back at me, and I had to be a little bit more calculated than I was. I had to switch my shots to being like, instead of going for them, like punching as hard as I can and placing them, to being like, okay, I'm gonna have to put up numbers against this guy, because the more accumulation, then after that I hit him with the hard shot, then he falls. Just that I knew that if, how can I say it? I knew for a fact it was gonna take much more than what I did to knock him out. So I walked into that fight knowing that it could go 15 rounds, go 15 minutes, but the fact that I knew I had the power to stop him is just, to me, I feel like I didn't have enough time. And also the fact that like he was doing such a great job of just like moving around, circling, not really, he stayed in front of me a lot of the times, but he was that guy that if I threw something, he was throwing something back. So a lot of the shots that I wanted to hit him with, I couldn't 100% commit, because I knew that he was going to throw something wild back. I knew he was going to throw a looping left hook, a looping right hand, something. So it wasn't the fact that I wasn't going for the knockout. It was the fact that I knew that something was going to come back. So I had to be cleaner. I had to be faster. I couldn't really sit down on what I wanted to punch him with. So, okay, like I'll take the 15 minutes.
Well, it was still a very exciting fight, and actually, he also won, the fight of the night bonus. So, congratulations on my behalf. I had no doubts actually, since I know your fighting style. So, I was waiting for fireworks. Okay, there was no finish, but it was as entertaining as a striking fight can go.
Oh, absolutely.
In 2021, you fought 3 times, you won as many times, but this year also, coincided with the loss of your head coach and father-like figure, Saul Soliz. How are you coping with that?
Man, that's the exact reason. Like after this fight, I've decided to take a little bit of time away, not only just because of my son being here, but also because I need to work on myself as well. A lot of stuff has been going on, like just the fact that he's not here. Like that was the hardest camp I've had to put myself through, because it was me and my training partner Cameron running my camp. And the reason why he was a big factor in my camp was because the only other person that spent more time with me than Saul was Cameron, and we trained with each other a lot. We were there a lot. Like he came to he was in my corner for my UFC debut, and even now. So like the fact that like it was kind of like a full circle type of thing, because he cornered me in my last fight for Davey, but the fact that like we kind of just stuck together and just kind of just like replicated what we've done in the past with Saul and everything. And it was hard. It was hard, like doing the things that we do when my coach Saul was there, but when he wasn't there, it was like it was hard. It was emotionally hard, because it was hard to get through. It was hard just to be. It was hard to be there at times, but that's why I needed my training partner Camden there. He's also very smart in MMA. He always watches breakdowns. He always loves like getting a fighter, watching what they do and breaking them down. So it was also great in that aspect as well. But also it was like kind of like a comfort thing, because he he was with Coach Saul a lot. I was with Coach Saul a lot. We both know each other very, very well. We know each other's ticks and everything. So it was super hard. But yeah, after this fight, I had talked to him. I was like, I'm gonna take a little bit of time, because this it's been a rough one. It's been a super super rough one. Cause I like even after that fight with Davey, like that last minute of that last round, it was hard for me. Like I was circling. I wasn't really fighting. I was kind of just going about the motions. I was looking up at the clock, and I was out of it. And then like right after that bell rang, gave Davey a hug and just sat down. I had just kind of had to cry, because man, like I missed my coach. I missed him being there, and I really never gave my chance the time to sit back and like think about him not being there, because I was just always put myself on the go. And that like finally it hits, and it still has been hitting hard to me just because like just like now, like I said, like I have my son, like I would want to tell him about him. Like I remember telling him like the first time I was gonna have a kid, and I remember just even just telling him, and then later on, like getting a call from him and just being super excited for me, and then like all these other things, just always kind of just talking to me and just like asking me how like an appointment went whenever I went with my significant other to the doctor's appointment. So yeah, like a lot of it has been hurting, and I do need my time. Like I need my time.
On my behalf, it's tough to hear that. I can only imagine how is it for you to tell it and to leave it. So I don't know what to say. Except for my condolences. I can only imagine how is it for you to lose that figure in your life. But at the same time, you have to stay strong for I give the example for your son and for your training partners. How are the things going on at Metro Fight Club?
Oh man, things are going great. Things are absolutely going great. Everything's been kind of ever since like after this fight, I've been kind of just rolling in, and well, except for this week because I've had my son and everything. So no, everything's been rolling great. This weekend coming up, we're gonna have a lot of fighters on a Fury Fighting Championships that you can watch on UFC Fight Pass. We got 3 fighters fighting, and I think it's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be great times because we got a lot of fighters fighting, and we're just keeping the ball moving, keeping the ball rolling, keeping it moving, keeping all the same system, and making sure that that we know what has happened. Now it's like kind of just to keep on moving because that's what my coach Saul wanted. He always wanted like, hey, if he were to leave, everything to still be running the same, and that's the way we're taking it. He's not here. Everything's still gonna run the same. We just keep moving, keep fighting, keep doing what we do, and just representing the gym. So that's exactly what we're doing. Everybody has this. Everybody has this oomph about them to make sure that we get our wins.
Talking about the future, you said that you want a bit of time for yourself. That's it's understandable. Perhaps something in your mind somewhere. Are you already thinking about a certain period of time for your return, or that's something that you haven't yet think about?
I for sure do not want to fight anytime between January, February, and March. I am giving April and May, like beginning the last of April, beginning of May time frame to be back in the cage. So that's the time frame that I'm looking at. Not really anytime soon, just because of my son coming here and then just acclimating, making sure I take a little bit of time. And the reason why I don't want to come back in February or March is because I'm not really training. I'm just making sure that like that the gym is running smoothly, and making sure that my son is healthy 100%, and making sure that I'm there for every step of the way for him as well. So that's the way I'm taking it, and I'm gonna wait till end of April or May.
Well, enjoy your paternity leave, if we want to call it like that. Before I let you go, can you please tell us your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, my favorite Christmas movie, man, for sure it has to be Elf. It for sure has to be Elf. I was gonna say Home Alone, but it's kind of overplayed right now to me. Because I was actually walking. No, where was I? I was actually no, I was at the hospital. I was at the hospital because now I'm home. But I'm at the hospital, and almost every channel had Home Alone on, and I was just like, I'm tired of this. I'm done with this. I like Elf. That's what I'm gonna watch. So yeah, that's what it was to me. Elf. It was definitely Elf.
That's a fine choice. That's definitely a fine choice. Before I let you go, do you have any last message?
Oh man, I just want to say thank you for having me on the platform. Thank you to Iridium Sports Agency for everything that they do for me. A great team behind me. My training partners at Metro Fight Club. my coach Saul Soliz. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be in the position I am today. Also, a big shout out to Coach Phil. He's done a great job in just being able to keep a lot of us motivated at times that we didn't feel motivated, and just making sure that we got our extra push when we needed it. So a big shout out to him as well. Yeah, man. Again, man, 2021 has been an up and down roller coaster, but the fact that it's ending on a great note, like it's been a blessing.
And it definitely gives hope to everyone. I believe so. Adrian, thank you very much. Best of luck with everything. I wish you the best. Right now, you said that you are kind of leaving fighting aside, but I believe that you are going to undertake a great challenge in your life as well. So hopefully I'll hear again from you, in 2022, when you will be back to returning inside the octagon.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Thank you. You have a blessed one.
Have a nice day and happy holidays. Bye-bye.
Happy holidays.